Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday, hump day. Took a few trades pre-market on gold, couple of scalps, and the overnight session. This was an interesting one. I didn't want to trust gold, but as soon as I got in this position, I realized the leverage was too high and it wasn't micros, it was minis. I got out early here at the little pullback, but market kept dumping. So the trade logic and everything was fine. It's just the position sizing wasn't as planned, so I planned an early exit. But the read on the market was pretty solid for gold. The reason I got in was price action has settled down for gold a bit in the past week or so. Before it was completely wild if you look at it. Up and down swings, but then last week or this week I've seen it kind of settle down into this nice predictable patterns where you could find edge. And here I thought, okay, once we broke that level, I'm going to get in short, and I did, and we pooched down to the earliest structure level here. And then same logic here. I'll try to go long, but I got stopped out, break even, or I trailed the stop too quickly. Glad I did, because market kind of shifted structure and is coming down anyway. Coming back to the NAS pre-market, I saw this trade here, kind of added to it, got stopped out, break even. I tried to short it here, got stopped out, then I shorted it again, and there was a little winner. I decreased my position sizing just to get this funded account to a nice healthy cushions phase, and then we can see if increasing the position size makes sense. But right now, 3 contracts, maybe adding 3 more would be the way to go for me, just to get some confidence on this account and seeing if I can run it. There's a 40% consistency rule for the funded account. Not that I'm worried about getting payouts at the moment, but your biggest day cannot be more than 40% of your overall profit. So let's say if I'm making $300-400, I have to keep consistently making those, or book in more green days so that 300 or 500 does not equate to more than 40% of the total profits. Something to look out for, something to just kind of build a system off of to maybe stop trading when I hit a certain mark. That's definitely limiting the upside, but it's keeping the risk consistent and in line with the payout rules. At the end of the day, the biggest goal of prop firms is to get payouts so that you could fund your own personal accounts, and that was the thing that I'm trying to achieve here. The challenge is, should we grow the account and then take the setups as it is, or just do the minimum to get the payout and then get the hell out of the market? That's the challenge you have, or I have to adapt my trading towards. And overall, that's been going good. In the past, it's been 32 days of trading, and it's just about finding that balance, intraday balance, where I'm happy with what I do, starting every day with a clean slate. And if I can get this account up, let's say, to 1,500 to 2,000 worth of profit, maybe I can request $1,000 payout. Or if I can get this account up over time, maybe 30 days, if I survive this account, 60 days, get it up to a 4K, 6K profit, maybe I can get about $2,000 worth of profits out of it. And then the strategy is to getting multiple prop firm accounts and copy trading in between them. So that's where I stand. So looks like you make, let's say, $320 or $200 net over 10-day, 20-day period on one account. Now, if you copy that over to with Funding Next, I think you can have overall 300,000 worth of account sizes. So 25,000, it would give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 accounts. So it will be 200 times 6. about $1,200 or $1,000 daily, $1,000 to $1,500 per trading session. That means if I get about $1,000 or $2,000 worth of payouts in a month, or even $1,500, now you times it by 6. So it's roughly, we're looking at about $6,000 to $8,000 worth of payouts. Maybe more, maybe less, but that's pretty good. And after having, the plan is 6 or 4 good consecutive green months randomly distributed. I'm not saying they're going to happen in one go or one shot. And the plan is to just go and fund your own account or just get more prop firm accounts. Like there's also funding ticks, I believe, that I'm really interested in at the moment. They have good drawdown amounts. You got to look for my strategy. I'm looking for any firm that's giving end of day trailing drawdown rather than intraday equity based trailing drawdown. So Funded Next allows me to do the end of day drawdown, also funding ticks. They all have consistency rules and stuff you have to abide by, but they have good challenges that you can pass, and I can copy trade in between funding ticks and Funded Next. For now, these prop firms are working. The goal is to get up to $300,000 max funding from Funded Next, and maybe find $1,000 more with something else. So overall, maybe $750,000 of funding, and then going off of there, funding your own personal accounts, investing in other portfolios, and just going from there. So that's the proof of concept. That's something that I'm working towards. That's something that I'm returning to. Copy trading wasn't a thing back in the day, maybe 3-4 years ago, but now it's pretty common. And I'm trying to get my risk parameters trading in a way that's consistent or in a line with or corresponds to this copy trading style, where I can just get about 200, 300, 400 per day, maybe $100 a day. It doesn't matter. Skip a few days, and then if I'm getting about, let's say, $1,000 to $3,000 on an account per month, now you copy that over to about 10 accounts, and that would really push me to that $10,000, $30,000 envelope, which even if I withdraw half is going to be $5,000 to $15,000 or $20,000 months. And I'm no intention of keep growing these accounts. The only reason I'm trading these accounts is for the payouts, and that's a given. And once you withdraw that amount, let's say it's $20,000, $40,000, $50,000, I can invest or fund a personal account just for funsies. I already have my other personal accounts, but I don't day trade them aggressively. But the plan is to fund your own trading account and trade them exactly like prop firms, but with not a lot of rules and limitations. And you can hold trades overnight, you can swing them, you can have a couple of contracts open, I can trade multiple things multiple times. There's no limits to it, but I want to keep it consistent and in line with what the prop firm rules and regulations are, so everything is fairly consistent in terms of payout structure and stuff. And those are the account I want to grow. Let's say I get a $10,000, $20,000 funded USD funded account. I'm going to grow that futures account to 100, 200K, withdraw some amount, put it in hard assets or liquid assets, and then keep going from there. And I can really increase leverage on that one as well. And then I'm going to keep that other $10,000, $20,000 account that's going to be my high risk account, where I'm not going to really follow the guidelines for trading with prop firms and those strict rules. And that account is going to be just to see if I can maximize my trading style and increase the position sizing and see I can get most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. But there's not going to be a lot of expectations, because there's a higher risk of losing a bigger percentage of the account, but there's also a higher upside. And when it comes down to prop firms, the plan is to keep about 5 to 6 copy traded accounts that are very consistent, low risk, and just following $100, $200, $400 a day. And I'm going to keep about 3 or 4 accounts, or maybe a couple accounts, where I can just really push the envelope and go heavy on some trades. So, because it's the same amount of money. Let's say if I go with 3 contracts, and if I go with three micros, and 3 E-minis, the trade is going to be the same. I'm thinking, okay, shorting it here, covering it there, and that's about 20 points, 20 points. So on 5 micros, it's about $200. 20 points on 5 E-minis is significantly, that's almost 2,000 or and up. So that same trade that's yielding $200 is going to yield about 4,000 or 5,000. So goal is to push for those 5-figure days, and eventually in a couple of years, whenever that time comes, push for those 6-figure days. That's the goal, that's the idea, that's the visualization, that's the dream. And it's all about a matter of time and hitting those consistent small base hits, being confident in your system and just knowing what you're doing and getting some results backed up by payouts, getting results backed up by your consistency and how good you are at executing the system. So that's the 2 cents. Looking at the market, we are tapping the overnight low. I'm looking at the overnight range. It was kind of huge. If I'm counting this move as well, then we're literally just trading in between the overnight range, which we saw a bigger sell-off here, maybe London session, and it's about 100 points. And now we're seeing if we can just go and tap the lows here. Very risky to sell here. I'm already up on the day, but this looks like a solid setup if we continue moving lower. So I'm just going to come in and draw the high and low of the first 15 minute. I'm just being quite patient today because I'm already up, but that does not mean that I'm not going to be quick at executing a setup if it's an A+ setup or something that I know it's going to be high probability. But definitely going to secure some nice green days for the first 30 days, and that's how you go from a challenge mindset or a combined mindset to a funded mindset. That's the idea. I'm trying to shift that. Past 3 funded accounts, 4 funded accounts, has been a little shaky. Market wasn't just favorable. Sometimes luck plays a big part because you start off with a certain amount of drawdown, and then if market doesn't work your way, a couple of green days, or sorry, a couple of 3-4 red days are going to put you very hairy spot, and then the pressure mounts up and stuff. And then the opportunity cost kicks in if it's worth saving that account. So all that sort of sweet stuff. But at the moment, it's going to be very patient because I'm already up on the account and I'm trying to build some cushion, and a couple green days or 4 or 5 green days is really going to put me in a healthy spot, especially on this account, and see if we can get a payout. But that payout is not the answer, or it's not the final goal. The goal is following a process and over time executing that process to achieve or scale trading up to multiple different fronts and accounts. So that's the goal. I'm keeping consistent symbol, like I'm only trading NQ, maybe every now and then some gold and Dow Jones, but I'm keeping everything else or all the variables consistent. 1:2, 1:1 sometimes, 1:3. There have been times when I've been doing over trading because I lose the path because I'm trying to chase price or trying to get stopped out quickly and then going for that move. But I'm trying to adjust that as well to save some commissions and all that sort of sweet stuff. So everything is a fluid state. Trading is never finding one answer. If you find an answer, the questions change, the market conditions change. Like right now, we're having a nice volatile market that favors a lot of breakout traders or volume traders, momentum traders like myself. But we could see a spell where market just slows down and it's just chopping around, or there's not a lot of volume. So those are the days where there's not much activity. The best thing is to just stay out, know that the edge is not going to play out and that kind of stuff. So saying all that, it's about the process. It's a long-term process. It's definitely a marathon. It's not a sprint. The faster you make money in the market, the faster you're going to lose it. The whole point is keeping the money. The whole point is tight risk management. So even if you get a dry or a bad spell red spell. It's not going to hurt anything, and just accepting the risk, really accepting the risk, and not just saying it that you accept the risk. Just know that, okay, if it goes south, I'm going to be okay. But also know deep down that the upside is huge and it can really change a life. So that's the goal with trading. And that's the goal with this system that I'm trying to build, or a profitable system with intraday trading, especially. Much easier to make money with swings and stuff, and knowing the broader market on a macro level, looking at the fundamentals and choosing companies and stuff, dominantly coming from stock trading. But now coming to futures, and especially intraday, where liquidity is so high, and there's a lot of opportunity in making money and losing money. So getting a system that's consistently getting to a point where, sure, I know what I'm doing, and maybe we can catch those 10, 20, 30 points and go from there. I'm trying to go long here, kind of risky, trying to buy the low, but seeing that we got a really strong reaction from here, I'm going to see if we can get a quick retracement here and get those 10, 20 points. Nothing more, nothing less, just that little quick points. Let's see. Risk is tight.
Order filled.
Okay. Could have gotten more from that trade, but position sizing is small. That's still about from 69 to 76. Nothing too shabby. Not even 10 points, honestly. The trade logic was pretty solid. Getting in here to support previous support level and seeing if we let it ride. I should have put the stop in the money, but seeing the market's been so volatile, just good to lock it in and kind of go from there. I'm going to come and do something. I'm going to come look at gold as well. Gold is kind of floating somewhere in the middle. I don't want to be a part of that. Dow Jones doing completely opposite to what Nas is doing. Nas is kind of selling off, and Dow Jones had a big, nice, fat bull candle. And now it's kind of coming for a retracement here. So interesting to see. Usually they correlate and follow each other, but definitely seeing some discrepancy here. Good to see a nice big range on the NQ. First 15 minutes. It's about 80 points of range, more than what we've seen in the past days. These are my little rules that I want to put somewhere that I can really remember. That's something that's helped me a lot. Simple. Urgency kills. Speed of execution after confirmation. Waiting for A+ setups patiently. Controlling the process, leaving the outcome. There you go. Golden words. Keep you out of trouble. Keep me out of trouble. At the end, we're just clicking buttons, but it's more than just clicking buttons. It's very mental, it's psychological. It's fighting with your risk brain, your brain that's always looking risk in a certain way, in a life-threatening way, in a panic way, and shifting that mindset to a probability-based mindset. So you're always okay, regardless what happens. Easier said than done, though. That's why 90% people end up losing money in this market. Easier said than done. And definitely not impossible. I'm seeing if we go past that level here. Looks like that's a big sell-off coming in. Wouldn't mind just being a buyer here.
Order filled.
And see how we go. Stop right below here. I'm trying to risk some profits that I gained before. But there's a higher probability we might just tap the low of the opening range and keep rallying up, especially to the 50% of that move. and I'm not looking to stay in it if we just kind of consolidate at the lows and stuff. So, right, stops break even. So now this trade's risk free. I might get tapped out, but worth a try. We saw some nice wicks coming in. That means buyers are interested at this spot. I want to see a continuation and see buyers step up again. So and it's a good average price anyway. Right, looks like we're trying to rally up. I'm going to take it further. That's going to be my TP, and I'm going to trail this one. Not trying to be greedy, just trying to follow the momentum. But this is definitely a resistance point. If we break free with volume like we tried to do it before, we couldn't. So now it might just, volume might pick up there. Reach our first TP though. There you go, some good volume coming in. Reach the first TP. What I don't want is a big sell-off from then on. What I want is a continuation, at least going to revisit that little structure, at least the midpoint of the overnight range. Right? Cool.
Order filled.
Beautiful. That kind of came right at the, like, right below the midpoint of the overnight range. So if we don't consider that wick or that little structure, I think laid out perfectly. My order was a little below that just so that I could catch it, but we definitely got most of that move. That puts me healthy on the day. Sometimes I want to make more, but then the consistency rules and stuff, and that's going to be a big challenge. But I'm not trying to think that. I'm trying to keep this funded next account like my personal account, and which is just want to grow it to a point where this 40% consistently doesn't matter. Tomorrow, even if I make a couple hundred and book like 4 or 5 nice green days, that's not going to matter, is it? But happy with the first day. And that's me, I think, trading for the day. I'm going to stop it right here. Yes, I can make more, absolutely, but I don't want that consistency coming in the way. So let me come and log this trade here. What was the entry point? Entry was, oh, we keep rallying up. But I've added here, but we can easily flush down as well and chop around in the overnight range. So happy to be closing there. And let's see how much did I miss. We'll just try to do that. So 6976 to 69. So let's say I got in at 69 here. Market kept rallying up, eh? Maybe I cut it too short. Stop was right here. And 9.5. Still happy with that exit. Just following the plan. Little base hits. And that's about what? 26 points. How much did I leave on the table had I just put my stop, 18, 20 points I left on the table. Had I just trailed my stop, but you never know. And there was this other trade here. got about 5 points out of it anyway, so that plays out. Happy with that. Because you never know it's going to reverse. Like this one, I could have easily put stop break even, and that reversed completely. Found a better entry here, so I'm happy to be closing it there and then waiting on that one to do its thing. Right now, we're stuck in the overnight range, something that I wouldn't touch because you don't know if it's going to come down, go up. What I'll be interested in if we go up and test 542s, and if we break out of it, especially if we break out of the overnight range, which is 550, and that's I'm gonna be looking for longs, and that's gonna be a solid setup. But if we come down and retest the 560s, then it's not looking too good. Then we can definitely go and target that level right here, which seems pretty reasonable and achievable. Usually after all-time highs, what ends up happening is we do come and revisit those levels. So I'm just going to put it there as a marker, because we know that, okay, that's the next level the market's going to react pretty nicely at once we break the lows. But if we don't break the lows, if we keep going higher, then there are some levels to play off of. So that's the trading. And short and sweet setup. That's me done for the day. Really want to take another setup with a small risk, but I've already taken about 11 trades today. I really don't want to push it. And there's some days where no matter what you do, you end up profitable. Like, look at this beautiful reversal. Anytime you bought here, okay, market came down, it's coming out. This is called momentum. This is called good price action. This is not choppy. Well, we've been usually seeing a very choppy market. Like yesterday was a very choppy session. I can show that it was just going like, what is this? It's really difficult to gauge price or make money off of it. But days like this, when you know, okay, you know, and this was kind of telltale sign. Market sold off. We had a quick kind of recovery, filled all of this gap, right? Market ramped up. We sold that gap. So these are kind of little points that, okay, we're going to be seeing some solid price action. There was a nice trend up. I followed it here too, got out a little early here, but market kept ramping up. You know, did a short here, but I bought here again, but I'm happy with that. Secured some points, not a lot of volume. Okay, market open, we saw before pre-market, we saw a big sell-off, quick sell-off, and that's a great sign. Consistent red candles going through the zones, tapping it here, and once you buy here, okay, consistent green candles. So you could have made money as a seller, you could have made money as a buyer. The great signs. These are the days, no matter what you do, you end up profitable. So am I like, do I want to be a buyer here with like a single contract? Absolutely. And I think it's going to run up, and we're going to see that at least go and tap the top level, because price action has been very consistent, and that's a VWAP trade. And that's something you don't want to get caught in. Absolutely, because it's in the middle of the overnight range, and that's the point of control. A lot of chop happening. And I'm glad to be taking my profits here, because this candle could have come here as well. So that's the double-ended sword. That's the two sides of trading. You never know if it's going to be a quick, nice trend. You hope that it's like this, but it can turn choppy any second. Happy to be flat. Happy to be out. Thanks everyone for watching. Nice, happy, good day for me on this funded account. And I was hoping for a nice, good day, especially from yesterday, which was very choppy. And thanks everyone for watching. Peace out.